Chris, thank you so much for being here with me today to chat about One Space. I know we have some events coming up, but on a broader scale, One Space is about the community. And so I would love to hear from you in your own words. Why does the One Space mission matter to you personally?
Well, one space matters because it's an extension of what we've seen in space, starting from the very first human space flight with Yuri Gagarin, where he looked back at Earth and said, Earth is just big enough for cooperation and too small for conflict. And realizing that what's great about space is that it connects people in a way that no other subject can. And so bringing people together under this umbrella of a one space translates in lots of different metaphors. And it really just strikes at the heart of building a community together. That's what one space is really all about to me.
I love that. And what are you excited about when we think about that concept? And if we can bring that more and more into the ethos of how we work, of how we show up, both inside the space industry and out, what excites you about that?
Oh gosh, I think it's knowing that people are willing to take a larger perspective on things, that we are all in this one space together. And that's not just in your local environment around you, but when you take a bigger view and you get outside the atmosphere and realize that all of us are on this Earth, this spaceship, this bubble floating through the void of space, that we're in this together and we have to take care of each other in this. And all those boundaries and those things we think about that are so important to us in the immediate moment, they fall away to insignificance. And it's really about just building us together as a community to accomplish everything that we all truly want deep in our hearts.
I have goosebumps. Yes, I love that. And I love that you mentioned, we're already on a spaceship. We're already
Yeah,
inside space.
right? Yeah,
Yeah. A lot
I
of
love
people
that.
do that, they think of it as a separate thing, but we're part of a system. And when we can start to have that mindset of we're part of a greater whole, then everything shifts, right? With the way that we approach problems, the way that we solve for them, and that long-term thinking becomes how it
Right.
becomes rather than what's the immediate gratification or result for right now.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's like. Right.
Yeah. Can you share one of the firsts in space that really inspires you or resonates with you?
Oh, one of the very first in space. I think for me, I having gone to space camp as a counselor and learning a lot about the American spaceflight program, I think some of the amazing firsts happened during the Gemini program. And I think back between two missions, when Ed White did the very first spacewalk for United States, lost 7 pounds because he was sweating so hard and his boots were completely filled with sweat because he didn't know what he didn't know. And then the result of that was Buzz Aldrin getting into a swimming pool and developing what became, underwater scuba training for astronauts that ended up carrying us forward. And knowing that it was just some imagination and lessons learned that really propelled us forward, that enabled so many other things that have happened today that we now just take for granted. Um, I I just think about how amazing it was that we had a mistake that could have been very tragic, but learned some incredible things rapidly and quickly and solved problems fast. Taught a lot of people about like, how to work in space, but at the same time, it got everyone to think in a different way to solve a unique problem. Eventually, that became a theme for lots of things in space that then translated down to ways we can solve problems on Earth. And so I love that accidental problem occurring with solving it in a unique way.
Absolutely. And it's a reminder too that a lot of the things we use day to day, like the microwave, different medicines, they were discovered accidentally because we were actually solving for another problem. And then
Yeah,
we realized, oh, wow, this is happening. Oh, okay.
totally.
Let me explore that, right? And it's a paradigm shift. And sometimes we get really trapped in our silos within the business or within an industry. And that reminder of, there's all these different aspects that contribute towards this. And then we get presented maybe with a new problem once we solve the first one. And then that iterative process and then bringing that back. it's also a great reminder that many of the things we do use day to day, like our cell phones,
Right.
TV formula,
Sticky notes. Yeah.
yeah, post-it notes, like there's so much that we use that were inventions for things to be used in space.
Oh yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe sticky notes weren't one of them, but WD-40 was invented to help prevent corrosion on rockets, and I think every household has at least one can stashed away in the garage somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Under there because when the door squeaks, I need to pull that out.
Absolutely right. Yep.
Um, if there were any companies that, or space pioneers that have really kind of helped you navigate your space career, who would they be and why?
Oh, well, obviously SpaceX has been a big part of my life, and they've pushed the envelope in incredible ways. We had an amazing window on our spacecraft that was developed from napkin to uh, being certified for spaceflight within months, and which is absolutely phenomenal. And they've enabled communications all over the world, um, satellite to your cell phone in your pocket that is going to save lives if it hasn't already. And of course, additionally, along my journey, I have to say Blue Origin's been hugely impactful for me as well, not just for the hardware that they're building, but because they have a specific philanthropic arm with Club for the Future that recognizes that one of the most important things, not just inventing and building and selling technology, but uh, the important part of inspiring the next generation to pick up that mantle and carry forward and to keep pressing out into to this, the high frontier, uh, so that we can truly start seeing the benefits in lots of unimaginable ways of what space can do to help life here on Earth and beyond.
I love that. Yes, and it's that future mindset, that futurism that helps us to solve for things that we can't imagine yet. Because when we have that longer term view, we start to think about all the implications and, how does it affect how we relate to one another?
Right.
It's gonna,
And that's hugely important too. The way we relate to one another on this spaceship call Earth is what's going to make us be successful in space or, not be. And if we can keep recognizing how similar we all are and what we all really care about uh, in terms of like our family and safety and security and love and all the things that we want to progress towards, everyone has the same basic needs in mind. And that's true if you're an astronaut or you're in traveling to a place that's unknown or you're a refugee that's coming to a place that's unknown to you. Um, from wherever you're from, those experiences that you bring with you just kind of enrich the area that you end up being a part of. And at the heart of it is just what makes us human and what connects us all together.
Yeah. Beautiful. Very well said. As we think about the future, what do you think people can take away from the concept of one space to help that shift in how we relate to space and each other?
Oh, that's a good question too. So, uh, really, I think it's about recognizing that you can't go far if you go alone. I mean, you might be able to go somewhere quickly, but it's just like that old, saying goes that if you want to get somewhere fast, go alone. But if you're going to get there, and you want to go far and discover new things, go together. And it takes an entire team to get people to space. And we had thousands of people to get me up and back from space safely. And that's what we need to continue to remember is that as we go farther out, we start to continue to push the boundaries of what we thought was the limit. We're going to need to go take a moment to look back and express gratitude to people that have helped us along the way to help push a little bit farther and make sure that we're successful. And that's going to take a group concerted effort, and that's core to the message of One Space.
Mm. Amazing. Thank you. And congratulations again on the recent 4-year anniversary of your.
Yeah, 4 years has flown by to me, and it's amazing that that's so much has happened since then. We've seen so many suborbital astronauts. We've seen two additional free flyer private missions with SpaceX, and several space station astronauts go through Axiom, and there are so many more, in the pipeline coming down in the near future. But it's flown by, and I know I'm very thankful to have that opportunity. And I love that, the crew and of Inspiration4 and Polaris Dawn, we stay in contact and communicate with each other frequently because the mission's not over. We may have gone to space, we may have splashed down, but we were supporting St. Jude, and there's a bigger mission uh, at stake here, and that's all of us working together to solve big problems here on the ground.
That's amazing. I love that. The mission is not over, and we still can work together to solve big problems on the ground.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you so much, Chris. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, Sarah, thank you very much.